TikTok is a waste of time, and I have wasted time on said app. Mostly watching basketball drills, bad basketball drills that should never see a court, or a trainer should never be teaching them. But regardless, they are on TikTok, and I want to react to them. So some of these are going to be great, and some of them won't. So we're going to dictate whether or not the drills are baller or bogus in this episode of Baller or Bogus. But for those of you who are new, welcome to Balance Basketball Academy. My name is Jordan. I was a high school basketball player turned college basketball player turned trainer. And here we are going to take a look at some drills and some techniques and some ideas that people have about how they need to get better at basketball. We're going to dictate whether or not they're worth anything. Let's do it. Okay, so I know it's a bit of a hot take to say that a tennis ball is 85% of the time a waste of time. But I want to talk about the other 15% and when it's actually helpful, and this video best explains how the tennis ball can be used to actually improve your game as opposed to just looking like a clown drill, which typically that's what tennis balls end up being when trainers try to use them. So this is a good example. I'm already going to say that this is baller, but let's take a look at it anyway.
When you drive past defense, you want to get your hand here. If you're there, you want to get it here. So we grab the tennis ball, right? The tennis ball is the defense, so we want to grab it here. First drill, hit, grab, hit, grab, hit, grab, go!
So, the tennis ball is being used as an activator for your left hand or your off hand or whatever hand that is not actively dribbling. And it can turn into a really great way to get both hands involved when you're dribbling, because if a defense reaches, you can just swipe them away, or you can use your off hand to get these little advantages that, other players wouldn't be able to capitalize on because they're just so focused on dribbling. The tennis ball is making sure that the dribbling is autonomous, so you're not thinking about dribbling, but also you're using the off hand actively. That's a great example of how to use a tennis ball, and we're gonna see worse examples of it. But when people say, okay, never use a tennis ball, no, you can. Just know why you're doing a drill and what it's actually training, and that will help you hash out a lot of bad drills just right from the get-go.
If there's one quality that every hooper wishes to have, it's the ability to get low, as it's a quality that most skilled players have, as it gives you a greater advantage to blow past your defender and putting him in an awkward position when guarding you. And the only way to improve this quality is by simply getting low. And we can do this with cone snatches, which forces us to get low and allow our body to get more comfortable and familiar with this position.
Yeah, we went over another kind of get low series in the last Baller or Bogus video, and this one is, unlike the previous example, is a way to move with the basketball instead of just being stationary and trying to touch the floor. This is a learning how to explode and stay low at the same time. So this would be a great progression of those floor touches. This would be a great progression of that, getting a hold of that cone, picking it up, and, being able to get used to not only using your offhand, but also really focus on getting low and dropping those hips and shoulders to where you have that advantage over the defense. This is baller. Got a thumbs up from me.
The weirdest finishing drill that's going to make you an elite offhanded finisher. You need two basketballs and you want to pin one to the side of your hip. Attack the basket and finish with your offhand while keeping that ball pinned to the hip. You are now challenging your offhand to do all of the work to get the ball in the rim, instead of overcompensating with your dominant hand. If you don't have a second ball, you can use a closed fist connected to the side of the ball and try to finish through that.
This one's kind of strange because it almost actively contradicts itself at the end there. Okay, let's start with the beginning of the drill. It's a 2-ball drill. You carry one ball at your hip and one to lay up with. The thing that's going to make this drill tougher than actually just using your other hand is your leg moves, and it's going to shift the ball around on your hip, and you're going to be focusing on trying to keep the ball on your hip and not really focused on finishing, which is why you're there. And so it's just kind of like, okay, fine, if you can get past that, fine. And then he says when you don't have the second ball, you can use a fist to just carry the ball. But I thought you wanted your non-dominant hand to do all the work, but you're giving it a crutch. Like, if you don't have a second ball, how about you just hold your hand at your chest or hold your hand behind your back and just don't move it? It'd do the same thing. I just don't understand. This just gets a bogus for me. Like, I don't really know what problem are you solving with this that you couldn't do with, you know, just leaving your other hand out of the picture. I don't know why you need a second ball or why you need to do the fist thing. Just don't use the hand. It's really that simple.
Come on, shoot. Let's go. You gotta get better at this. Come on, let's go. Shoot. Come on, shoot. You gotta shoot quick. Come on, you gotta shoot quick. Come on, you gotta shoot quick. Let's go. Shoot quick. Come on.
Yeah, this one isn't real. It's a skit, but sometimes watching some of these, it feels like this is what I'm watching, where it's just, why? He's standing in a garbage can shooting basketballs, like...
Shoot higher. Shoot like Steph Curry. Let's go. Flat ball. There you go. There you go. Come on. Heavy ball for you. There you go.
And we're back to the heavy ball thing. Yeah, don't shoot with a heavy ball, in all honesty. It's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to actually help you shoot better. If you want to get stronger, just, like, stop trying to invent ways to not go to the weight room. I don't know. All right, let's go to the next one.
This drill is for all my hoopers that struggle with finishing at the rim at game speed.
Let's go!
This is one of my favorite finishing drills, courtesy of Coach Rob Fedora, the player development coach for the Miami Heat. This funny-looking drill requires the guys to run in a full sprint at the rim. They must finish the layup without slowing down or jumping.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
Since the ball is moving at the same speed as the player's body, they have to adjust to shooting the layup with a much softer touch, teaching them to slow their hand speed down while their body's moving at top speed. I know this one looks crazy, but let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below.
But they are slowing down, though. Like, all of them are actively cheating the drill because they are slowing down. And another thing is that I know you gotta work with hand speed and stuff like that, but why don't you just take really fast layups and actually let your players jump? You know, you make them go full speed and just run as fast as they can and then jump, because, well, that's what you're going to be doing, funnily enough, when you're finishing. Nobody's going to be half running, half jogging at the rim with no dribble, with no jump, trying to slow down their hand speed. No, stop. Stop it. You're complicating things. You're trying to break it down into little pieces. Stop it. Bogus.
V dribble, cross between, behind the back pass. V dribble, cross between, boom, snap that behind the back pass right there every time. Good. 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 There we go.
Okay, so as far as passing drills go, the applicability of this drill is like nothing. When you're doing a behind the back pass, you don't want there to be bounce on it because it's going to be a really slow pass. When you're passing a bounce pass, typically you want it to bounce about 75% of the way to its actual target, so it bounces back up towards the player that you're targeting. When you're dribbling behind the back, though, it's really hard to get under the ball far enough. You end up just dribbling it down, and so the dribble happens pretty quickly after you let go of the ball, and it creates a very slow pass and a very stealable pass. Most people who are passing behind their back are giving, a direct pass behind the back, and it's just going to zip right to the guy. This probably looks super cool to everybody, but it's not a passing drill. You're just getting rid of the ball in a slightly fancier way than usual, but I'd like to see the day when he actually uses this and it works in a way that isn't needless. You could do this with just a regular pass. There's no advantage that you're getting by learning how to do this botched behind the back drill. This is a bogus for me.
In this drill, athletes must defensive slide to one cone and back to the middle cone 5 times before the other person. The first person to get there 5 times gets the ball, and it's one-on-one immediately after.
That looks exhausting, and it looks like something a coach would force me to do. But, good drill. Yeah, you're getting to the point where you're fatiguing yourself with defensive slides, but the harder you go on defense, you get rewarded by getting an offensive possession, which... it's got game applicability. It's fun. One-on-one drills are fun. Baller.
I got elite handles because of this drill.
don't know if that's going to give you elite handles exclusively, but it probably won't hurt you. Don't jam a finger doing that. You know, make sure your fingers are all accounted for there, but it's okay. The big thing that it's changing is the level of the ball and the speed of the ball, which is important. You don't want to just pound, 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 pound. You want to vary your speed, vary your level, vary the direction. That's the kind of stuff that's going to make you really hard to guard, is when you have so much variability in your dribble that people can't predict what you're going to do next. So this is kind of just an unpredictability vibe. I'm going to give it a baller because I think it's okay. Okay, the reason why I wanted to go into this drill is not because there's anything particularly unique or different about it, but mostly just because when they're heading backwards, they're crossing over. A good defender is going to attack you as you're retreating. They're not going to just stand there. And a crossover, as great as crossovers are not for a retreat. They're for an attack, and they're for when you have a little bit of space, because they're the easiest to get picked. And so if you're going backwards and crossing over, it's just a little bit less secure than it would be to go between or behind. And so I'll give this a baller, but I will say, don't practice retreat dribbles with the dribble in front of you, right? If you're retreating, the dribble needs to be back, behind. And the same thing applies to when you're changing directions and retreating. You don't want the ball to be in front of you, because it's going to be difficult to keep it under control and keep it away from the defense at the same time.
The weirdest finishing drill that's going to help you extend your range and perfect your shooting form. For this drill, you're going to need a chair, and you're going to want to place it in the middle of the paint. From there, while sitting in the chair, you're going to want to rise out of the chair for the shot. Now, the key focus that you need to make this drill effective is to lead with the ball by making sure the ball starts going up before the rest of your body. Doing this will make sure that you get under the ball so that you can load all your power underneath, while also fully loading your legs from that deep squat position.
Yeah, this is another looks like bogus drill, but is actually helpful. You're going to get a smoother shot, and you're going to work out a lot of little inconsistent mechanics by focusing on doing this and not jumping. If you looked at the Anthony Edwards video, he was shooting almost to the three-point line without jumping, because again, he was just working on making that shot smooth and making sure his elbow's under the ball. And when you do get to jumping, your legs are not going to just be completely out of the picture, because you've been doing a much deeper squat than you actually ever would for a jump shot, so your legs are already kind of primed and ready to go. This is good stuff to pair as a warm-up with your workout to get your shot, you know, smooth and ready to go, so when you do need to shoot tough three-point shots or deep shots, that's how you would do it. So, baller.
We call this break the glass. Janet, outlet it. Turn to the outside. Good. We want to hit the glass as hard as we can. Strong hands, two hands. We teach them to try to land with a really wide base. So when they get bumped in traffic and the backboard hitting it, we'll throw them off a little bit. Plus, we want them to get a little attitude. Have a little fun with this one. It's going to be a big key for this team is rebounding the basketball.
Half of the guys were bringing the ball down after the rebound for an easy strip, so not great. I want to like this drill, I really do. The main reason why I don't, though, is when coaches are giving you rebound drills and they're just throwing the ball off the glass, there are very, very few shots that are going to shank off the glass like that, to where that's where the rebound's going to go, and that's the direction or the velocity that the ball's going to be at. So it's practicing catching higher in the air and then smacking the glass. I guess, you know, the guy said it was kind of an attitude thing, you know, it's got flair, but it'd be a little better if, you know, A, the coaches were trying to miss, you know, where it hit the backboard and then hit the rim and came off the rim or something like that, and then B, the guys were trying to catch and finish relatively quickly. I'm gonna say bogus, unfortunately, because it just kind of looks cool, and it does a couple things, but it doesn't do them as well as I think that you could or should, really, if you're gonna do a rebound outlet drill. I'm sorry, like, I want to like this one, but I just don't.
This is not how you get better at ball handling. This is how you get better at ball handling. This is not how you get better at dunking. This is how you get better at dunking.
Well, I wish I'd thought of that. Instead of like getting in the gym and, doing plyometrics or something like that. Maybe I should have just dunked the basketball. That would have been way easier. I'll do that next time I get into the gym. Like, okay, man. Sure.
This is not how you get better at shooting. This is how you get better at shooting. And if you want to get better at basketball overall, you need good drills. It's $1 for like 3 more hours. Link in my profile.
The ball handling bit, I guess we'll start there. There's so much to unpack here. It's just such a treat. He kind of half does some cone drills that are way too close to each other, so he's intentionally making cone drills look bad. There's nothing really wrong with cones. It can help you learn how to change direction in a more clear way. That setup is not what I recommend because it's way too small, but okay, whatever.
This is how you get better at ball handling.
Right. Okay, so doing a plank push-up thing into a between, but he didn't actually dribble it. It's just a wrap into a between, and then getting your foot and feet into a 1-2. Okay, cool. That's going to show you how to regain your balance, I guess. I keep going back to this. I guess, we get the it looks cool sticker, but what is that doing? And then
this is not how you get better at dunking.
The jumping bit is just like, okay, well, unfortunately, in order to get better at jumping or stronger, you have to do some strength training and probably some plyometrics. And that means that you're gonna have to do some stuff that isn't dunking because you can't dunk, because you're training to dunk.
This is not how you get better at shooting.
That's form shooting. There's nothing wrong with form shooting. You can get better at shooting doing that.
This is how you get better at shooting.
This little drill here, clown garbage. Sorry, it's clown garbage. What it's training you to do is learning how to reorient yourself in the air and find the basket without jumping from a place where you're like fully on balance and ready to go. And that happens all the time where there's NBA players who take off sideways, turn in the air, and make the shot. But they're not doing a 180 jump shot, right? Oh, by the way, that last one was definitely bogus. I think my breakdown demonstrated that well enough, but just in case, no. So, that wraps us up. We are done with our second episode of Bogus or Baller. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you maybe learned something from it, or at least got a laugh or a smile, because at least I did. It's fun to watch this kind of stuff. It's fun to see what people think is, good for training and helping improve their players. But thank you very much. I hope you like, subscribe, and have an awesome, awesome rest of your day.